Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a palette bingo, as you can probably tell from the thumbnail and from the title of this video. And I am going to be using the bPerfect Carnival Palette, and this was a collaboration with Stacey Marie, and she is a makeup artist that posts a lot of her looks on Instagram, and I really love her page, and like I often go to that for inspiration because I love how she puts together her looks, and they always look very different from the type of looks I do, so I really love to go there for like inspiration and sort of push myself out of my comfort zone. And here is what the palette looks like on the inside. You have two face highlighters right here, and then you have 24 eyeshadows, and as you can see, they range from very like colorful bright shades, and they also have some neutrals and some shimmery shades, but mostly mattes. But yeah, this is what the palette looks like, and this is actually a pretty funny story behind this palette and why I own it. Because I have a friend on Instagram, her name is, or her username is Makeup with Jenny, and she posted a review of this palette saying that she absolutely hated it, and she never reached for it because she's not that into colorful eyeshadow. And she said that the few times she had used it, she hated it because she found the eyeshadows to be very dry and not as pigmented as she liked them to be. So I read that review, and I had been like eyeing this for a while, and so I wrote her a DM asking if she wanted to sell her palette to me instead of it just sort of being in her stash and sort of using it every once in a while. I thought maybe I could get some use out of it because I really love colorful eyeshadow looks, so yeah. And she said yes, so she sold it to me. She's from Sweden as well, so the shipping was very like easy, and it came in like one day, which was, yeah, we were both very shocked about that. But yeah, so she said that she hated it, and I have been using it for the past like 2 weeks or so, 1 week, 2 weeks. And I really love it. Like, I think it's an amazing palette. I think that the colors are exactly like I want them to. Sure, some are not as like pigmented as I want them to be. This blue down here and this green, they are not as dark as I would have preferred. And then also this shade right here, this dark shade called Liquor, is maybe a tiny bit patchy sometimes when I put that into my crease. But honestly, when I mostly do makeup for just every day, for going to like school or work, and no one is going to care if my eyeshadow is a tiny bit patchy on like the outer corner, or it sort of clings a tiny bit into my crease. Like, I don't have the energy to care about that when I just go about my everyday life, and I'm sure no one will notice if they are not like super close up like I am when I do my makeup in a mirror. So yeah, I have had no problems with that, and I think that really goes to show how it's like personal taste whether you like an eyeshadow or not. And another example of that is I've talked about the Colored Rain Vivid Pigments here on my channel before, and saying that I really love them because I do really love them. And then a channel that I really look up to, Melissa Gold, she posted the other day a review of them saying that she basically hated them and that she thought that the formula was very like dry. And I think that sort of just shows how much personal preference and like the way you personally use your eyeshadows, that will really affect what you think about eyeshadows. So I think you should like keep that in mind every time you see someone do a review of some eyeshadows that you've been looking into. Even though they might say that they don't like them, if you still think that you would use them differently, or if you know that you have different sort of styles of applying makeup, then maybe they will work for you anyways. And I also think that this sort of opened my eyes to how when I sometimes declutter makeup because I don't like it, I think that I don't want to sort of sell it or sort of give it to friends and family because they won't like it. If I don't like it, I think that it's a bad product, and they won't like it either. But like, this goes to show that it's not necessary, just because you don't like a product, it's not necessarily a bad product. But yeah, that was a long intro. Let's just get into this palette bingo. So I'm going to put in sort of 1 through 24 on random.org, and this is inspired by, like, the first one that did this was Emily Noel. She did a palette bingo where she picked 5 shades from a palette and then she did a look with that. But then I've also been watching a lot of Mae Beauty. She does palette bingo sometimes, and also Rebecca, my friend, more Ruby. She does like palette bingos as well, and they usually pick 4 shades and then they sort of complement with other shades in the palette if they need to. So I think I will start by picking 4 shades and then we will see where we are at and if we want to pick a 5th. Okay, so I generated and I got the shade number 4. Okay, so that's like the most boring shade in the palette, but that is this sort of very neutral gray shade right here. So that was number 4. And then we got 19. So then we got the shade I talked about before called Liquor. That is a tiny bit patchy, but yeah, it does really have like a plumish reddish undertone. You see that very clearly when you swatch it out. Not so much in the pan, it looks so brown. And then we have a 23, which is a shimmery sort of white base with a like yellow duochrome to it. You can see it looks very yellow on my hand. And then we have a 21. Okay, so that is the green. So these are the 4 shades. So I think I'm just going to go with the 5th because, like, why not? Let's just pull another one. Okay, I got 19 again. 12. Okay, so 12 is this shade right here, which is called Hush. And it's, as I said, a rose gold. So here are the shades that I will be working on. So I'm going to think about what I want to do and then we can sort of start applying them. I'm actually not sure what I'm gonna do, but I thought it would be fun if I did not like sort of plan it out beforehand and just sort of went with it. So that's what we are doing. I'm taking my MAC Painterly paint pot and I'm sort of applying that all over my eyelid. And then I'm just going to set that with a powder that is close to my skin tone. At least like the crease part. Okay, let's start off just by taking this sort of naked shade into my crease. I've actually never used that one before. Okay, so now that I have that laid down, I'm just going to go out on a limb here. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to take the shade Envy and I'm going to put that sort of on my inner crease with the same brush in sort of soft circular motions and try and blend as I go. And then, this is looking crazy, but then I'm going to go into Liquor and I'm going to put that sort of on the outside. And I'm just going to wipe my brush off on a towel that I have in my lap and going with the same brush. You can probably see, I don't know if you can see, but there is a tiny bit of patchiness like right here into my crease. But for me, I usually like take the same color and sort of pack that on right here on the outer corner after I'm done like blending the crease. And then I feel like that sort of disguises the patchiness in the crease a bit. So I don't know if I'm not like good at blending that spot just because I cover it up later. But yeah, it does tend to have a tiny bit of patchiness, this color. I'm then going to go in with a flat brush with the same shade and I'm going to, as I said, sort of pack that on the outer corner. I am then going to cut my crease with a bit of the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer and a Wet n Wild brush. And I'm just going to do this by placing some concealer on my lid and then sort of looking up, and then that is where I want to cut my crease. And I'm just going to do like a half cut crease. I'm then going to set that with the shade Hush. Okay, so here is where we are at right now. It does look a bit crazy, but we'll see if I can sort of save it at the end. But I do feel like the colors are really pretty. Like, I love the liquor shade, and then I really like the, what was it called? Hush shade as well. And I think that if you would just do like the liquor shade, Hush, and then the sort of nude gray we used in the beginning without the green, I think that would look really pretty as well. But I'm just going to do my primer, foundation, concealer and powder, and then I will be right back. And I thought I could do the blush and bronzer with you here on camera, but I will be right back. Okay, so let's start off with the bronzer. I'm going to take this bronzer from the Smashbox Contouring Trio and put that on the normal places. And then I'm going to take a tiny bit of the contour shade and lightly contour my cheeks. And then I'm taking one of these like flat brushes and dipping that lightly into the contour as well. Just a tiny bit. And then I like to just place this on the sides of my nose. And then I sort of flip side and sort of lightly blend that out. And then for blush, I'm going in with this shade from the Makeup Revolution Hot Spice palette and sort of putting that on the apples of my cheeks. And I like to sort of smile and bring it in towards my nose. I used to not do this at all, but it has sort of grown on me. I love when Noel does this, the one I mentioned in the beginning of this video. And so I've been doing that as well. Just sort of swirling it here on the apples of my cheeks. And then I'm taking a large doe fiber brush and just sort of blending that out a bit, because this blush is pretty intense on my fair skin tone. I do like an intense blush, but yeah, just so that it's seamless. And then for highlighter, I'm going to mix a tiny bit of Mimosa from the ABH Glow kit in Gleam with the Makeup Geek highlighter in Glitz. So this is in my Roulette product pan collab, and some days I really like that sort of icy pink highlighter, but some days I like it to be a bit more warm. So then I've been mixing the Makeup Geek highlighter with some highlighters in my collection that I rarely use because they are too dark for me. But I feel like when I mix them, they look really pretty. So that's what I've been doing sometimes when I want a warmer toned highlighter. It's really intense, especially in the ring light. And I like to take more of Glitz when I do my nose highlight. Like, that can be a bit more icy than my cheeks and also my Cupid's bow. I'm just going to take Liquor, which is this shade, and I'm going to put that along the lower lash line on sort of the outer half. And then on the inner half, I'm going to take Envy, the green shade. And then for the inner corner, I'm going to go in with Moony, which is the last and fifth shade we were supposed to use. And I'm just going to wrap this around my inner corner and then continue it a bit along my lower lash line. I'm just going to pop some dark green eyeliner in my waterline. This is the Black Olive one from NYX. Okay, so here is the finished look. I applied some lashes and some mascara and then did my brows, and I also applied my lip product because I'm going to fill my lipstick roulette right after this, so I just went ahead and applied the L'Oreal lip lacquer in the shade Gone with the Nude. So that is what I have on my lips, and that is everything for this look. I think it turned out okay. I have done a few looks before where I have like the green on the inner corner and then like a completely different look on the rest of the eye, and it's not like my favorite look, but somehow I tend to like gravitate towards it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this look came out, and let me know down in the comments what you think about this look and if you would do it yourself. I do really like the look of the liquor shade, as I said before. I think that's a stunning shade and I will definitely be using that a lot more. But yeah, I think that was it for this video. Please give this a thumbs up if you think that I should do more of the palette bingos with this palette, and let me know if you think that I should do palette bingos or if I should do like a 3 looks 1 palette or 2 looks or 1 palette or whatever with this palette, because I've been using it so much lately because I've been really enjoying it. So let me know what you think I should do down in the comments, and please consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!